Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tiana with StoreyHausBooks as usual. So, what are we doing tonight? Well, we're working obviously on this grungy recreate here. And this is going to be part 14. Now, if you saw my last video when we were doing the decoupage base pockets, and another video you're going to see where I was doing a single signature basic journal that I'm going to release probably tonight, you'll see or hear my deepest apologies for this. I have filmed this part in 15 weeks ago, and I've been, I guess you could say, worried to release it because after watching them, I didn't like them because I messed up on some of the measurements. I was going too fast. I was out of frame in some of the places. So after a lot of thinking about it, I mean, I know we got to finish it, but how am I going to refilm it if I were to make the pieces? Well, I am going to. This is the refilm of part 14. So what I did was I made another base here, and I'm going to show you the elements that were for part 14 in here, on here. Okay? Now, we're going to be careful and go slow, because I can't refilm it again. I guess I could, but I don't want to. I have to refilm it again. So what are we going to work on tonight? Okay. So we're going to add on this base panel here. If you guys remember, we were talking about adding another piece to this intro panel, right? So this is what we're going to add. I've already done it, obviously, on this side, but this is the part where I was showing you how to do it. So we're adding this flip here. Okay, we're also going to be adding this flip here. So we're going to have two flips, right? I'm also going to show you how to make these closures here, right? And how to attach them. They actually attach here in the middle, on the middle spine here. So keep this part down. I'm also going to show you, hopefully, let's see, we're going to add the eyelets. I got it all written down. I'm going to show this envelope here. It's actually a faux envelope. If you open it up, it's got a magnetic closure, and it's got some pockets inside, right? So we're going to show you that, right? And then I'm also going to show you, let's see what else. We might get to these pieces here. I think I did these pieces in 15, actually. So this is the other flip out on the inside with some window pockets here. These are just tabbed faux envelopes. Faux pockets here, and then this is a distressed acetate pocket here. Okay, so like I said, we're going to do the flip out, this faux envelope here, and the closure elements at least. All right, so like I said, I wrote everything down, so this time hopefully I won't mess it up and screw it up. Right? All right, so let's get started. I'm going to close this up and put this to the side and bring out our model here. So it's got the same measurements basically as the one that we're just looking at the Grungy Folio. But we're going to do all the same elements but on here. Okay? So let's start with adding the flip out to the main panel here. That was the flip out, the first part you saw there. So let me grab some cardstock here and we'll get started. So I'm using the black cardstock again, right? And this is going to measure, let me bring out my little post-it so I can write this down for you guys to see. Here we go, and let's use a better pen than that, right? Hold, please. All right, so make sure I'm in frame, but that was the big problem with the other one. All right, so this cardstock, this is gonna be the actual flip out part and the base of the flip out. So this one actually measures. So we're gonna cut it 6 by 1/4 by 9 3/4. Okay, can you guys see that? That's the measurement. So write that down for the base page to the flip out of the base page. Or the base page of the flip out. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to go and cut this to size. Go flip around this way. Put that right there so you guys can still see it. So this measurements will give us a 1/2 inch flap and a 1/4 inch spine. Okay. Alright, so I said 9 3/4 this way. Yep. Which is right there. Try this again. 9 3/4 is right there. Alright, this down. And here we go. Yeah? Alright, I'm gonna change this blade. Look how look at that. That is just awful. Let me get these little fuzzies off. That blade is dull, dull, dull. Yeah? Excuse me. Good Lord. Alright, by 6 1/4. So we're going to go this way. 6 1/4 is right there. Okay. And again, ugh, look at that. That is just awful. Alright, so there is our base page for the flip out. I hate calling it base page. You're going to have a design page on top of that if you like. Or you don't have to do that. You can just put your pockets and whatnot on top of that. Alright, so again, it's 6 1/4 by 9 3/4, right? Okay. So then we are going to score for our flap and our spine here. So we're going to score at, where's my scoring tool? Where'd you go? There you are. Alright, so we're going to score at a 1/2 inch. That'll give us our flap, right? And then at 3/4. That'll give us our 1/4 inch spine. Yeah? Alrighty. Then we are going to fold at our score lines here. Real quick. Oh, and I found my little tool, my little scoring tool. Found it finally. I found it inside of another project book. Alright, let's fold this one and score it real quick. Alright, now we're going to reinforce this with some washi tape. And I'm going to use some less love washi tape, I think. Maybe not. Should I use the DIY tape? Well, I don't even know what I'm going to do with this folio. And I don't want to just waste it, right? So, let's use this one right here. For giggles. I think I got this off Amazon. I'm pretty sure I did. It's just some script. And I think this is the one that actually is pretty darn sticky. Okay, let me just roll this back up real quick. Alright, so we're going to reinforce our spine with washi tape like we always do. Yeah? Now, I'm going to just measure this real quick like. Right about there. Tear that. I'm going to grab my glue stick. We always reinforce our washi tape with glue stick. Even though this one's pretty sticky. This, I can't remember what brand it is, but I will put the link in the description below. But this stuff, it's sticky. I probably don't even have to use this. We're sewing it down anyway, so I'm not. This is really sticky. So I'm not, but I would prefer if you're doing it with a regular washi tape to reinforce the stickiness or the adhesive with glue stick, okay? And we are going to sew this down anyway, so. Anywho. Alright, let's put our washi tape down here. This is going to reinforce our spine. Okay. I'll flip that over and do the other side as well. I'm just going to leave that tail there. I'm going to cut that off anyway. Measure this out here. I'm going to use about that much. Okay, so if you're new, why do we reinforce the spine? Well, this is paper after all. And after a while of flipping and folding it, it could deteriorate and tear. So the washi tape keeps it from falling apart. Even if the paper tears, the element will not come apart. The washi tape will keep it together. And you don't have to use washi tape. You can use fabric, do the same exact thing. Or if you had Tyvek, even would work. Even another piece of paper would help. But if you're not going to use washi tape, I would suggest using fabric. Just a piece of fabric. I mean, even a piece of lace would work. Okay? Alright, let's cut off the edges here. Okay. And rinse and repeat on the other side. Alrighty. Now, there is our base flip out. Alright, we're going to fold it again real quick. Which way did I have it? It was this way. Or was it that way? This way. Okay. Okay. And our other one. And now our spine is ready to go. Now, I'm going to sew my edges down. You do not have to do that if you don't have a sewing machine. If you don't have a sewing machine, I would suggest, adding the glue stick or maybe art glitter glue to make sure and reinforce your edges stay down. Okay. You can also, if you're not using a sewing machine, don't have to really worry about this side because it's not going to cook because you're actually going to be gluing that down. But if you're not going to be using a sewing machine and you have design paper, make sure to cover the washi tape with that paper, and that'll keep it down too. Okay, just glue that down. All right. Which let's see, did we do that here? I started to do that and not so sometimes if I'm going to use design paper, because it's going to get covered anyway, right? So with this one, I don't think I did. I did not sew it down. I did not. Okay. Well, leave it alone. Alrighty then. Alright, so next thing we're going to do is, okay, I'm going to go ahead and round these corners. Alright, the design paper, what's going to go on top of here. Alright, I'm going to grab, let's see, well, I'm going to have to decide what this is for, if I'm going to use some, if I'm going to use this, right? Well, I have been toying with the idea of doing a, what should we use? Like I said, I don't want to waste the folio. And I did get the new Tim Holtz papers in the red, orange, and pink. So, we could do a shabby folio, use the pink up. What do y'all think? The pink and some of the other papers that we have. Yeah? And I also got some more English Garden from DCWB. So let's go. I did a shabby journal you guys saw recently. So I think we're going to do a shabby folio. Why not? I mean, it's green, but we're going to cover it up anyway, right? So let's use the new pink. See what we got here. I've also got some distressed lace that a friend of mine, hey Julie, gifted me recently in a happy mail that I used in that shabby junk journal. I'm going to pull that out too, because maybe just use that for the elements. Yeah, it's so pretty. I've got some other papers that I also wanted to show you guys that I got recently. Where do those papers go? I'm looking. Well, darn it, where'd it go? Anywho, let me see if I can pull these out here. Alright, so I've got some other papers I want to test for you guys. So this is from 49 Market, right here. This comes from the Nostalgic Memories. Really pretty. Alright, that's more for the front than anything else. I got these at scrapbookie.com. And I got quite a few of these. I got this one. I love this one. This is from, is it Mintay? Mintay, right? I love the drawers. And even the back of the lace is cute, but I love these drawers. So I got a couple of these to try, see how they'll do. Another 49 in Market. I was more for the dots. I don't know. I just kind of do. Got another one in green, distressed green. And I got this. This is from, it's just an onyx plate pattern, right? But the back is cool too, right? That corrugated steel, right? I love this. Got this too. And I got more of these. These were 99 cents a piece, right? This is from scrapbook.com also, and these were 99 cents a piece. Look at that rust color on this side, and then the green bolted stuff on the other side. So for 99 cents, yeah, I got 20 of them. So who knows how long they'll be there. Another 49 at Market. Love the drawers. You guys know I love this at the apothecary drawers. Love those. Had to get a couple of those. Let's see. Another one for 49 at Market. Love the flowers. Want to see what those look like. Ah, here we go. This is the one that my friend Julie sent me. So these are this distressed lace. This is from, what is this? Chic Lace Texture. I believe she got this on Amazon.com. So that's the name of it. Can you see it right there? Is it focusing? Yeah. Really pretty distressed lace. I love these pages. Love them, love them, love them. So yeah, we're going to use these too, I think. For sure. For sure, for sure. What else did I get to show you guys? I think that's it. Ooh, check this one out. Look at that one. That one's cool. This one is from 49 Market again. And this is from that Nostalgic Memories. Look at the back. It's really cool. Look at that. That's freaking wicked. Love it, love it, love it. Wicked, wicked, wicked cool. So I got a couple of those. I'm making a mess here. Sorry, y'all. What else did I get? I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. I got some more leather looking stuff. I think that's it. As far as like getting some anything new. Oh wait, did I get some back here? Nope, I didn't. Okay, anywho. So yeah, let's use that lace stuff for sure. And then let's see what else I got here. Some more grunge here. Leather. Ooh, this is a good one. Let's use this. I like this green for shabby. And the polka dots. And that one. What else did I get? I think that's it for that. I'm going to pull those out. And what else? What else should we use, y'all? This one, I think. And did we already grab this one? Yeah, we did. Okay. Not the metal rust ones. Oh, that for sure. And maybe that one. What else? What else? What else? What else? Okay. I got a lot of the green ones, didn't I? Maybe that one there. That one for sure. I think maybe the drawers too, and the lace one to go with it. Perhaps. Perhaps, perhaps, perhaps. Alright, did I get this one in there already? Let me see here. Did I grab it? Yeah, I did. Okay. Let's put all this stuff back up before I get too many choices, and then I don't know what I'm going to do. Alright, let's put all this away. Okay. Hopefully I'll remember to put all these in the description below if anybody's interested in where any of those came from. Yeah? I probably have some more in here, but I'm not going to go dig any more right now. Nope, nope, nope. Alright, so I guess I got a new project to start on with these. Alright, so we got the pink, and we got the lace, and we got all this other kind of stuff, right? So let's use what we got here. That's a good base page right there, yeah? What do you think? Why not? Let's just say yes. Yes, yes. Alright, so the base page, or your design page, is going to be 5 1/4 by 9 1/2. That'll give you a little bit of a border, right? On the base page. So you'll have it kind of like that. Yeah? Alright, so let's go ahead and cut that. Again, so the design paper, I'll write that down for you, is going to be 5 1/4 by 9 1/2. Alright, write that down. Put that right there. That should still be in frame. Right there. And I'll cut this piece. Alright, so what did I say? 9 1/2 is right here. Actually, I want it 9 1/2 to be the long way, so I want the design to go this way. 9 1/2 right there. Alright. By 5 1/4. Yeah? And 5 1/4 is right about there. Five and a quarter, okay. Yeah, okay. 5 1/4. Alrighty, put this to the side, put this away. Alright. Now, we probably should go ahead and cut the back too, huh? Let's do that as well. Let's go ahead and cut the back, and we'll use the same paper. as not to waste it. We'll cut it again at 5 1/4. Yeah. 5 1/4 is going to be right here. This is going to be the front and the back of the base page, right? There's the design paper for it. Okay. Alrighty. Let's put that to the side. We are good to go with this now. Alright, so here's the point where I would normally go ahead and sew this piece, right? And then we'll lay it down here, right? On the front and on the inside, okay? So I'm going to do that real quick. Penny, I'm not going to show you me sewing. I know you want to see everything, but no, you're not going to see that. Let me go ahead and round these corners before I sew, and I'm also going to ink them before I sew. It goes this way. It's kind of directional, so I want to make sure they're the same way. Yeah, like that. Okay. And before I go sew, I am going to ink these real quick, and I think we'll use. I don't know if I want to use scorched timber. I think we're going to go a little lighter. What do you guys think? Why not? How about we go with tried and true, a vintage photo, but I might use a vintage photo ink versus the just oxide. Well, I know I will because I don't like using oxide for inking. Okay, here we go. Yeah, making sure I'm still in frame here. Yes, I am. Shocker. All right. So this is a distressed ink vintage photo. It's a little darker, and it's not the oxide. You guys know I don't like using oxides for inking because I kind of feel like it's a waste of a characteristic of the ink. You know, I don't need it to oxidize on the edges. Okay. And if you don't want to watch me ink, you feel free to fast forward. But, you know, like I said before, you guys, or like you guys have said numerous times, you want to see everything, so I'm showing you everything. Minus a couple things. Yeah, definitely like the vintage photo for this. We're going shabby chic, maybe a little shabby grungy even, I don't know. This is all shooting from the hip, for real. Okay, and I'm going to just take my blending brush real quick and just kind of go around the edges real quick to soften them up a little bit. You don't have to do this, but this is what I normally will do. And those of you who have been with me for a while have seen me do this numerous times. Alright, I'm going to go sew this and I'll be right back, okay? Okay, you guys, I'm back from sewing. Sorry, I actually had a phone ring while I was, you know, on pause, so I'm going to have to merge this up together later. Anywho, so I did the stitching here, and we're going to put some double-sided tape back here real quick. Let me grab that. It's my score tape here in 1/4 inch width there. And I'm going to go ahead and cut the strings off of this one. I'm actually going to cut the strings off everything for this book. I just want to see it. I always did the strings on, and I'm going to try to just cut them all off, see what it looks like. I mean, I liked all the strings on it. I think it's cute, but no, you know, no worries in trying something new, right? Alrighty, so got my hair on there. Junk stuff everywhere. Alright, let's put this on here real quick like. So, how was y'all's week and weekend? It is Sunday at the moment. So I have some news. I don't know. I guess it's okay to share this. So I joined Match.com. Those of you who have been with me for a while know that I've been separated for about 18 months. And so there's that. Anyway, enough about that. So I joined Match.com, and I've already got my first weirdo who is telling me that he loves me. I'm like, wait, I've been on Match.com. I mean, I've been here for like literally 24 hours. So yeah, blocked that guy quick. So I don't know. I just thought I'd give it a shot. I mean, because I don't really go anywhere. I'm either working or I'm doing this, or my daughter's working and she always has the car, or she's at school. So I was like, oh, let's give it a shot. Well, I mean, it's a little overwhelming, honestly. and you don't know, like, I mean, that guy obviously was, like, nuts, but, so, anyway, I, did make sure to set my boundaries quickly with people that I was texting back and forth with, especially people that wanted to exchange numbers. I was very upfront, so, you know, I don't feel comfortable exchanging my number with you or with anybody. Let's just chat here. I don't understand why we would need to exchange numbers. I mean, chat right here. And then somebody was asking me about my daughter's age. I was like, okay, that's too much information too. Block that guy. I don't know if I'll even stay on it. I'm gonna let my membership run its course, right, or pay for it. So we shall see what happens. I'll keep you guys informed if you want to know. if it, you know, keeps with, you know, my current luck situation as it stands. You know, if Shiana didn't have bad luck, she wouldn't have any luck, kind of thing. So we'll see. You know, you never know. You never know. Alrighty. Okay, so we got this on here. Let's put that on here. So since we're putting the design paper actually on here, we don't really need to reinforce the washi tape because we're actually gluing this down over it, right? And same thing on the inside. So, okay. So one of the things I've changed is if I'm actually gluing design paper over the washi tape, I don't see any need to add bulk and sew down the washi tape. Because it's, you know, it's covered with something, so it won't come up. Alright, so, if you guys recall, what we normally do, this is the inside page, right? Yeah. Yeah, okay. We do the double-sided tape, then we take our Fabri-Tac, or you use glue stick even, and we just put a light bead over the washi, over the double-sided tape, and what this does is, if you're new, it gives us a little bit of wiggle room to readjust or reposition our paper if need be. Otherwise, if we don't do this, this double-sided tape will grab the paper instantly. And there is no pulling it up without destroying what's underneath. Don't test it. Don't test this. Trust me when I say this to you. Alright. Now, so flip this over here. And lay this down here. And make sure we cover the washi tape. Yep. Okay. And I'm just going to take a look at this and see if I... Actually, that's like dead on from the get. I think. Yep. Alright, so I'm going to commit to this spot. Yep, am I? Yeah, I am. Okay. And I'm just going to rub that double-sided tape down. Even out my glue that's in the center. And kind of push it to the edges. Yeah? Because I want to make sure those corners and the edges stay down. You will have some seepage. Don't worry about it. Get yourself a glue eraser from Dollar Tree, $1.25. Love that thing. I tend to be a heavy gluer. I try not to be, but I do, and I can't help it. I'd rather have too much glue than not enough. Yeah? Okay. Alright, I'm going to try to quickly... I'm just going to shake the camera. I'm sorry, you guys. It's not actually shaking the camera, it's shaking the table. The camera's on another table that's pulled over this way. But it's probably still wiggling in front of you. I'm sorry about that. Make sure we get that up there. I also suggest, if you do have seepage, to go ahead and remove it as quickly as possible. The longer you leave it, the harder it is to get off. Don't test that either. Trust me on that one. And sometimes if you leave it way too long, you may not get it off at all. Okay? But if you're going to be doing any inking or stenciling of any type, you do want to get it off because the ink will not... ink anywhere that there's glue, especially on Fabri-Tac. So if there's glue there, it will not, the ink will not adhere there. Okay? Alright, that's all that. Alright, so the other side here. So okay, we're going to rinse and repeat. Making sure to push down our double-sided tape, because if we don't, it will not stick. And it will come right off the page. Okay, move this stuff real quick and fast in a hurry. Feel free to fast forward if you don't want to watch me glue. I know it's riveting. Action-packed. Okay, about time to refill my Fabri-Tac, I think. I use a lot of it helping my daughter. She's working on a project for college, or whatever art classes at college, where they've got to make us full costume for a parade. And she works, so she hasn't had all the time in the world to sew all these pieces together. So what I did was I hemmed everything with Fabri-Tac for her, so she doesn't have to pin hem it, so she can sew it on. You know, I'm not doing it for her, I'm just hemming it in a faster way for her. She's never sewn a day in her life. So, just giving her a little bit boost. So I spent most of my afternoon and a lot of Fabri-Tac doing that. Alrighty, let's add this piece here. Da-da-da-da. Make sure we cover the washi. Yeah, we did. Okay, let's position this real quick. I think that's a good spot right there. Alright, I'm just going to press down the corner so it doesn't move too much. Okay, oh, it did move. Anyway, darn it all. There we go. Is that what I wanted? Yeah, that's it. Okay. Okay. So you have the glue in the middle a little bit, just like pushing it towards the corners. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right. And let's get the glue off real quick. It will come off a lot easier and quicker if you get right on it. Especially when you get to pieces that are like, you know, your folding areas and your spines and intersections and whatnot. Those places you want to get to really fast. If you leave those too long, it is a bitch to get that stuff off. I mean, it is a royal bitch to get it off. If you can even get it off without tearing something or tearing an element or pulling up some washi tape somewhere. Okay, almost done here. And if you're not sure if you got it off, you just run your finger down the paper. You'll feel it. You'll feel the glue like right there. So right there. Feel it. Yep, there's some right there. There's still some right there. Some right here. And there. Okay. Get this top edge and then we'll be done with the flip out paper. And we can attach it. Yeah? Oh gosh darn it, I didn't do this side yet. Come on. But I will say if you're not using Fabri-Tac and you're using like a white glue, you want to wait till that dries because it will wet your page, it will warp it. If you try to get the glue off while it's wet, it will tear your page up. It's another one of those things, don't test me on that one. I know from experience on that. Just trust me. Let that dry completely before you try to remove any kind of glue. Okay? Alright, I think we got all the glue off this one. Oops, piece right there. Some right here. Now the glue will also reflect in the light. That's what I'm doing right now. There's some right there. Okay, I think we got it all. Yeah. Okay, good. Where is my little broom? Gonna want to get all this glue pieces out of here. Okay. Alrighty then. Next thing we're going to do is let's go ahead and do the closures. Okay? So, for this piece, I'm actually going to give it another little burnish here. We're going to do on the inside of the intro flap here, we're going to attach this here, yeah? The closures are going to be here on either side and attached here, Okay, on the main spine. All right. So the first thing I want to do is punch the circles that we're going to use. If you already have them already pre-punched, great. If you don't, if you have a circle punch, great, grab it. If you don't have a circle punch, it's fine too. Just grab something that's a circle and trace it and cut it out. Or if you have dies, even better. Yeah? I'm going to be using my 1.5 inch, no I'm not, my inch circle punch. And my, this is a 1/4 inch, no it's 1/2 inch. And my 1/2 inch, okay? Do I have a smaller one? I don't think I do. I do not. Okay, so what we're going to need are 4 the larger circles and then 8 of the smaller ones, okay? So what I'm going to use is some scrap folder, but since this is going to be shabby, I'm going to use cardstock, craft stock color. I think I got some around here somewhere. I'm sure I got a scrap of it somewhere. Here's some. Okay, get a little sip of water. 1 second, guys. Now for the grungy, you're going to want to use, obviously, something grungy. I would use probably scrap. Scrap a file folder, like this. So this is what we're making. This piece is right here. Right here. And this is where it's going to attach. Okay? So like you see here, I used some scrap file folder for these. Okay, so I'm going to put this to the side for just a second. And I'm going to chop these up. I'm going to make 4 of the larger ones. 2, 3, and 4. Yeah? One, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, then I'm going to make 8 of the smaller ones. It doesn't matter what scrap you use for this, because it's going to be covered up anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, come on, 8. There we go. Perfect. Alright, let's put all this to the side here. Alright, I've got 2, 4, 6, and 8 of the small ones, and then 4 of the larger ones. Okay. Don't need that. Put these away. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to make the attachments that go on the front here, in front of the flap here. Right? Alright, so... Alright. To ensure we got enough space for the twine to wrap around, I want you to basically take 4 of the smaller ones and you're going to glue them all together. Okay? And I'm just going to grab some art glitter glue here. Just glue them on top of each other. Nothing exciting. What this is going to do is create space between the base and the actual wraparound closure to ensure the twine gets all the way around. Or has enough room to get around a couple times, right? Okay. There's one. Let's do the other one real quick. And just stack them up. Like I said, this is why it doesn't matter what they look like, because they're going to be covered. Okay. So, we got these. Just squeeze those together real nice and tight. Okay. You're going to glue that, one of these, to the middle of one of the larger circles here. Okay? Da, 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 da. Okay, try to sit through that best you can, right? Alrighty. There we go. Okay. Alright. What we're going to do with this one. Okay, so I'm going to punch it with my crocodile. If I could find it. Where is it? Here we go. Alright. Now, hopefully you can find the center here. And I did that on the wrong side, y'all. Jeezy crazy. I mean, come on, Tiana. Get it together. What is going on with you today? Can't mess this up again. Alright, this is no big deal. I'm going to take some my glue eraser here and just sand that down a little bit. And then we're going to distress it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. This is forgivable. Okay. Anyhow, moving on. I'm going to find the center of this thing. Pop me a little hole there. I think that's about right. There. There we go. Alrighty, there's one there. We're going to do the other one. Same thing. Rinse and repeat, yeah? Okay. Now, since this is a 1-inch circle, easy way to get the center is to set your crocodile at a 1/2 inch, yeah? That's going to get you your center, yeah? Okay, see? Easy peasy. All right. Now, okay. So what we're going to do next is... you want to attach these about a 1/2 inch from the edge, right? About a 1/2 inch from this edge, okay? About right there. I'm just kind of eyeballing it, okay? That's about right. Okay? Okay. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and I'm going to take a pencil because I want to make sure I punch a hole where I want it to be. Make a little spot there and make sure that's even with the other one. Looks about even, don't you think? Right about there, yeah? I think that's about right. Okay. That hole there. Alrighty. Now I'm going to go ahead and punch the centers of these pieces. These pieces are going to go in the back of the flip, or the inside rather. Just to stabilize the eyelet that we're going to put there. Yeah. Make sure it doesn't pull through because we're going to be putting a little bit of stress on it. Wrapping it around it. Okay. Now, I'll go ahead and punch my holes here. Where's that mark? There it is. Right there. And right here. Yeah? Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and distress these real quick. Now, if you don't have eyelets, you can use a brad for this also. Would work. Okay. And this one too. Right. And we're going to glue these over that circle that we just punched. Yeah? Again, I like to do this sometimes just to reinforce the backing and the eyelet when you push it through. Okay? You don't have to do this if you don't want to. This is just something that I do. My word is not law. And I ain't your mama, so please do what you like. Alright. Those are not as even as I would like it, but that's okay. They're even enough. They'll work. Alrighty. Now we're going to distress these as well, and then we're going to attach these with some eyelets. I'm going to grab them over here. Again, feel free to fast forward through the inking process. Okay. Alrighty, grab an eyelet here. I'm going to punch it through here. Punch it through here. Grab your crocodile. This is set at A3 for this particular, I'm sorry, A2 for this particular one. Come on, get in there. And don't tell me it's not going to reach. Let's say. We're going to have a problem. Okay, here we go. And this side over here, this one here, this one goes inside the hole. Come on. There you go. Oops, try it again. Alright. Give that a smush. And we are good to go. Alright, I'll leave my eyelets here because we're going to put some more eyelets in the spine. Now, you'll notice here, if you can see that, we have a little bit of space in there from that little bit of, a little stack of circles that we attached in there. Okay, now, we're going to attach the flip out here so we can properly measure where we put the eyelets in the spine where it's going to attach, yeah? So it's going to go here all the way to the edge, right? Because in the other one, we actually had elements here, right? So this is going to come right up to the edge, so we're going to attach it, okay? And I'm also going to sand down this washi tape just to make sure that it sticks good. So I'm going to grab my sanding tool here real quick. I find that by doing this, it helps the washi adhere, yeah? Which is what we want, okay? Okay. And I'm going to use Fabri-Tac on this. Okay. And we go here. Man, I am sweating. Why am I so hot today? Okay. Alright, I'm going to spread my glue out. This is another thing that I do now. Is I also find that it adheres quicker. And a little more evenly. Okay. Get that up from underneath there. We don't need that. Alright. Open this up a little bit. No, I'm not. What am I doing? Okay. Now we're going to attach it all the way to the edge. Okay. Leave it a little bit of room. Right, maybe a 1/16 of an inch from the edge. Just have a little bit of a ledge there. Okay. I'm just going to fold this down. Push this all the way to the edge like I want. About there. Okay. Push that down a bit. I'm going to hold that down as I open it because I don't want it to come up in the inside. Just want to see where it is. Even that out. Top and bottom here. Okay, just gonna keep pushing that down and make sure it sticks well. I think we're doing good back here. I'm gonna keep on it until I know that it's grabbed it well. So why I love bookbinding tape, sometimes, because it's a fabric, I think, I'm not really sure why. Sometimes you have to really work the glue into it, even if it's Fabri-Tac, to get it to stick. Glitter glue won't do it. Art glitter won't do it. It will come right up for some reason. I don't know why. It's not glossy. I don't know. Maybe if I sand it a little bit, give it a little more tooth to attach and grab. I don't know. Alright, that's on there. We're good to go there. I'm going to let that sit for just a minute. I'm actually going to push this way too. There we go. I don't want that there like that. Come on now. Work with me here. There's some extra glue right there. Okay. I think we are good here. Alright. Now I'm going to let that sit for just a minute. Okay? Alright. Next thing we're going to do is get some of this glue off my fingers. I'm going to take a small break while I go grab a sip of water, and I'll be right back. Alright, you guys, and we're back. So, we attached the flip out. Things had enough time to cure there. Let's go ahead and get that glue off. I don't want to leave it for too long. I probably should do that off camera. You know what? I am. You're not going to watch me glue. Penny, I'm sorry. I love you, but you're not going to watch me glue. Alright. So, I'm just going to say this now. There are a couple things I'm going to do off camera. As like I said, Penny and Judy, you too. I love you guys. You know I do. But you're not going to watch me erase glue, and you won't see me doing any of this sewing. And that's only because my sewing machine's so big that it would fill up the frame anyway, so you wouldn't be able to see it. Okay, so moving on. All right, got the glue off, okay, pretty much. And I'm going to just kind of give it a little brush in here. Okay, do that. Do that. Okay, we're good to go. That's our first slip out there. Next thing we're going to do is to do the eyelets here in the spine where it will attach, yeah? Alrighty. So, what I wanted to do is basically we'll put some eyelets here. We'll thread the twine through here and it'll wrap around here, yeah? Okay. So, now ideally, this part would be about up here because we'd have other panels inside. So what I'm going to do is grab something that'll hold this part up so it'll be a little more, you know, like it would be normally. So let me grab this tape here. That should be enough, I think. Yeah, okay. Actually, let's grab the one a little bit wider. So I'm basically recreating that there's stuff inside of here, yeah? Alright, so what I'm going to do is kind of eyeball, basically. I'm going to put the eyelets in the center, or center off the center line here, which is right about there. So that's what you're going to want to do. Find the center of your spine, yeah? And then you're going to put eyelets on either side of that are level with this element here, right? So what I'm going to do, just literally, take my ruler, line it up with the center of the eyelet here, and then I'm going to make a line like that on my spine. So now I know that's where the center is. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Yeah. Line that up. Take my pencil. Okay. And that's where our eyelets need to be, on that line. Okay. So, what I'm going to do here is my center of the spine is easily identifiable because of my tape, the way I did it, down the center. But if you need to, just measure, find the center, right? From the, take your ruler and find the center here. I'm going to put the eyelets on that line. Hopefully my crocodile will reach more. I don't have to grab the big bite. I'm going to take this piece out now. I don't need it. Open this up so I can see what I'm doing. And please tell me to reach. Not quite. Okay. Time to grab the big bite. Gosh darn it. I hate this thing. I'm sorry. I just don't like it. It's not user-friendly, and I just don't like it. I can't see what I'm doing with it. It's just a pain in the butt. Yes, and that's how I really feel. Alright, where's the center there? And I gotta see where I'm flipping at. Stupid thing. I hate this thing. Can you tell I hate this thing? I really do. I dislike it a lot. It's just not user-friendly. Maybe I'm using it wrong. I don't know. Alright. Do another one right over here. Hopefully I'm lining it up at the same spot. A little more room there. Okay. Punch your holes. And then just add your eyelets. Okay? Hopefully I'm in frame. I'm sorry if I'm not. Let me pull this over here. So I punched 2 holes for the eyelets here. And I'm going to just push those in there real quick. And the other one. Alright. And again, this is on A3. Is it 3? Yeah. Just like with the regular crocodile, you're going to put your setting at A3. I'm sorry, A2. What am I thinking? A2, right? Yeah, A2. A2. I'm sorry. A3 is the other eyelets that I have. Alright, A2. Line that up. Give that a squeeze. Here we go. Let's do the other one. Hopefully as easy as that one. Nope. Go. Squeeze that one down. There we go. Then I'm going to erase my pencil marks here. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? Okay. Okay. Alright, so we're going to rinse and repeat on the other side. Yeah? Why did I put 2? Because we're going to have the same element over here. Yeah? Alright, again, grab your big bite or your crocodile if yours is a little shorter. Try to line these up with the others down at the bottom, on the other side rather. If it's not, don't freak out. Just don't worry about it. Junk journals. It's not supposed to be perfect. Things will go awry. They won't all be perfect when you measure things. They just won't. And there we go, another one. Those are pretty close, I think. If not, who cares? Actually, let me get rid of my pencil marks before I put the eyelets in. It'll be easier. Oh goodness, what time is it anyway? I am like running behind here. Alright, let's put the eyelets in now. 2 of those. Come on, get in there. 1 there. 1 there. Alright, we're going to go to A2 again. Okay. Line it up and go, right? There we go, there's 1. And then the other. Come on. There we go. Alright. Actually, that worked out fairly easy. Than normal. Alright, then grab whatever twine you're going to use. For this, we are going to use... I think I'm going to use some of this fatter jute twine here that I have. And... you want to do is thread through one side. Yeah, like so. Cut off the length that you want. I would go longer, that way you can always chop it and make it shorter. Go through the other hole here. Yeah. Alright. Now, you can do one of 2 things here. You can tie a knot down here at the bottom to keep it from moving back and forth if you want, which is what I do. Yeah. So hopefully it won't go through the eyelet. So I'll tie a knot there to keep it from popping through there, right? Or you can leave it. Up to you. Okay. Then all you need to do is wrap it around here. So once you have this side filled up, this will go around here, you know, like so. Actually, I might actually use a thinner one. This is really fat on this part. This one section is really fat for some weird reason. Okay. Anyway, so you go around like that, yeah? And they're done. Okay? That's how it attaches. Just like that. Like so, right? There we go. Okay? Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? Have to do the same thing on the other side. Yeah, I think it looks kind of cute in the back, on the outside, right? Okay, let's cut off the piece here. Boom. Just thread these through. 1, 2. Here, just tie a knot on one side. Okay, and on the other, just push that down at the bottom, like so. And then basically the same thing. Just wrap it around your closure. I use a thinner one. This might be too fat. And that's how it closes. It keeps it closed, right? What do you guys think? Pretty cool, right? One kind of closure. Anyway, so that's how we did that. I'm going to go ahead and just tie these in a bow to keep them out of the way while we work on another element here. The faux envelope is going to go on the top here. So the faux envelope is basically, it looks like an envelope from the outside. But when you open it up, it's got 3 pockets on the inside, on each panel, right? And it's going to go here. Okay, so I think we're going to use the pink, something pink here, a little more pink from Tim Holtz. Yeah. Okay, so the measurements for the faux envelope with the pockets, okay, is going to be 10 3/4. So we're going to move this away. All right, so you're going to want to cut it 10 3/4 by 6 1/4. All right, there's your measurements. All right, if you follow my measurements for here. All right, and it should fit in between those two closures. Yeah. And I think since we're going shabby, that's a possibility right there. That might be the only possibility right there, unless I go with this one. This is 49 and mark. This is midday. Let's see if this will bend without tearing. Nope, that won't work. Alright, so I think I might use one of my lace ones here. I've already tested those, and they're not so thick that they'll tear. They will need to be reinforced, though. How about that one right there? That's cute. Or we go with this one. What do you guys think? That one? Or... Ooh, this is pretty, too. That one or this one? I think... I kind of like that one a little bit, but it might be a little too dark. I think these might be a little too grungy, maybe. Ooh, that's pretty. I like that. It's there. I like the contrast. That one. And this one's pretty. You know what? I like this one. This is the one we're going to do. Alright. Miss Julie, we're using your paper, girl. Alright. So, we're going to cut this at 10 3/4 by 6 1/4. And I'm going to take a little sip of my juice and be right back. Hold on 1 second. Alright. So, we're going to cut this. And I want it to be this way because it's a little bit directional. So I want this to be, you know, kind of facing up. So we're going to cut that way. As far as length goes. Okay? So, if you have directional, keep that in mind. That if you want it to be, you know, upright, you're going to want to make the 10 3/4 mark or measurement your cut. Okay? So, I want to keep the lace. And we'll just do down here. 10 3/4 is right there. Yep. Okay. Alright. Keep that scrap. And then we're going to do 6 1/4. So, because I want to keep this script also, I'm going to kind of like position this to where I get that bit for sure. So I'm going to cut along this line here and then measure from there, see how much of it I can get. So 6 3/4 would put it right there. That's exactly what I want. 6 3/4. Okay. Okay. All right. There's our envelope. What it's gonna look like there. Okay. All right. Then we're going to score. Get these scraps out of the way. We're going to score at 3 5/8 and 7 1/2. That's going to be the score marks this way. Okay, the long way, on the long side. Okay. So let's do here. We're going to score at 3 5/8, which is 1 tick past the halfway mark here. And then it's 7 1/2. Okay? So we're scoring the folds of the envelope. The reason I do this is kind of helps with keep it from tearing if you just fold it, right? Alrighty, so let's go ahead and fold at those marks there. And this one as well. And this gives us our envelope. Okay? I'm also going to go ahead and round these corners. Alright, that's our faux envelope. Yeah, so you're going to open it up, right? You'll have a magnetic closure, and here we're going to put a pocket here, and one here. Yeah? Alright, so let's start with cutting the pockets. Now, we're going to use the scraps that we just had to cut the pockets, which is why I saved them. So I'm hoping that I have enough of it. I should. Alright, so we're going to cut the pockets, alright, at should be 6 1/4 across, right? Sorry, 6 3/4 across. Let me make sure that fits. I want to say that's too wide. No, that's right. That's perfect. Yep, that fits. Okay. Never mind. Yeah. Alright. 6 3/4 by whatever height you want for your pocket. So, 6 3/4. How many can I get out of here? 6 1/4, right? No, it's 6 3/4. What was I thinking? Sorry. You know what? I cut my thing too wide. That's what it is. It was supposed to be 6 1/4, and I cut it 6 3/4. I did it wrong. So let's go ahead and cut that like it is. But I think I'm going to leave it because it fits perfect. Right? I don't see any reason to go any narrower. It fits. Yeah? I think we should leave it. Let's leave it. 6 3/4. Okay? So let's change this real quick to 6 3/4. Okay? Got it? Got it? Good. Alright, so for the pockets, they need to be 6 3/4, right? How many scraps do I have of this? I got this one. I should have another one. Another piece of it. What did I do with it? Oh, there it is. Here we go. So we should get enough pockets out of these 2 scraps, right? So, come here, you. Go in here, we can do one here, yeah? And this should cover another one here. We cut this in half and have another one down here. I'm actually going to flip it so we have some contrasting color. Okay? So all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these at 6 3/4. I'm not going to change the height of this one. This piece I'm going to cut in half, so we'll have some shallow pockets here and a shallow pocket there. Okay? Alrighty. So, let's cut this one in half, and this is 3 1/4. So let's just do 1 1/2 for one here. And leave the other one how it comes out. Yeah. Alright. Then we're going to cut them all at 6 3/4. Let me flip this around really quickly. Excuse me. Sorry about that. 6 3/4. And I want actually this lace piece, so I'm going to flip it around here. 6 3/4 is right here. Alright, there's one. I want this side, so I think I want this lace piece too. Six 3/4. Another pocket. And I also want this little piece here, so we'll cut this side off. At 6 3/4. Alright, there are our pockets and some scraps for later. Alright, let's put this away. Sorry, that was gross. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to sew this all the way around. All the way around here. Yeah? So all we need to do is lightly glue these down. Alright? Now, which way's up? There we go. I think I'm going to put one of the little thicker ones here in the middle. And then this one down here. And this one will go up here. Okay? Now, this is the point if you want to put tabs on them or eyelets or notch them out, you want to do that right now. Okay? What I'm going to do for these, I'm going to put tabs on them. Okay. So I'm going to grab some cardstock color. Not the large ones. Let's see. What have I got here? This is the ones I want to use, I think. No. I want to use these ones, right? Or do I want to use the black? What do you guys think? This one or black? Definitely the card color. Cardstock color. All right, there's one. How many more? I may have to cut some out. Might be out. Might be out, you guys. I was not prepared. Alright, let me grab my Whale Tail Punch real quick and punch 2 out. As I am out of those. Oops, sorry. I didn't hit the camera. Alright, let me grab my Whale Tail Punch if I can find it real quick. Here we go. And some cardstock here. Nope. There we go. Just fold this in half real quick. This way actually be better if I get 2 out of it this way. Or, yeah. See how many I can cut here. One. Man, it is hot in here. My daughter has been playing with a thermostat lately and turning the heat on when she's cold. Now it's like, I'm going through menopause. If you're hot or cold or whatever, put on some more clothes. I can only take off so many clothes where it's appropriate. I need the AC. I need to turn my fan on right now. Ugh, my extra fan that I have over here. One second, you guys. Here we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and ink these. Now, the trick with these is if you're going to sew, I'm going to tell you how to sew it in a certain order. Okay, here and here. Okay. Please feel free, again, like I always say, to fast forward if you don't want to watch me ink. Okay, and this one. Alright. Now, we're going to do the same thing with the tabs. Backside doesn't matter because you won't see that anyway. Okay. And one more here. Alright, so now I'm probably going to come back later and put, or I am for sure, going to put labels, a little mini cluster on here. So we'll go through that when we get to the word decorating part. But for now, for the sake of time, I'm not going to do that right now. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and attach my tab here, just with some art glitter glue, you know. Oop, I left the pin out. I think it's stuck. Oh, there it goes. Alright guys, I know this is getting long, but we're almost done for the night for this video. And I've already got 15 films, so we'll put that one up right behind it. Okay, there is one. And I think we'll skip the notch. You know, I don't think it needs it. Pick up the tab there. So, a little more inking here, I think, though. Alright, we only need a little bit of glue because we are going to be sewing it. Or we might be sewing it. I just did the wrong side. It's fine. I just did the wrong side. See, this is what I'm talking about. Oh, God bless. It's fine. Unless I didn't glue it down yet. Okay. Anywho. Alright, so this is going to go here. Yeah? And if you're not going to sew, go ahead and glue it down solid, right? If you are, you just need a little bit just to get it to catch. Okay? Now be careful not to get into the fold. Just right in front of it. Okay. All right. Same thing with this one. Just put a tab on it. Alright, put this one on this side. And I think I'll put this one, I want to put it on the same side, or I want to put it in the middle? I think we'll put it in the middle. Or the opposite side. Do one on this side, and then this one will go here with the tab on this side. Yeah, I like that better. Alright, this one over here. Okay. Alright, just a little touch of glue on the sides, and you want to glue the bottom down. Okay? You can sew through there if you'd like. I'm not going to do that because I don't like sewing close to the fold to perforate it, and you know, you run the risk of tearing there also. So I don't see the need to do that. But you do you. Again, my word is not law. It's just how I do things. Yeah? Okay. And one more over here. Right there. Yep. Okay. That one's on. Alrighty. There we go. This one down here at the bottom. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? Okay. Make sure it's not sticking out at the bottom. Ooh, too much. There we go. Alrighty. Now, we're going to do a little sewing, and I'll be right back. Okay, so if you're going to sew, you can do this however you want. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew just around the edge. Okay? That's all I'm going to do. I'll be right back. Alright, did the stitching. So you can see I did it all the way around just the outside edges here. Yeah? I'm going to go ahead and cut the strings off as well on this one. Okay. Alright, so here we go. Here's our envelope right there. Now, if you find that on the inside where the bottom stitch is, the white of the core is showing through, just take your dauber and go over it, and it'll get rid of that white core look for you. Okay? Real pretty quickly. See? All gone. All gone. All better. Alright, I think I got it on, didn't I? I think so, I think so, I think so. Oh, a little bit right there. Alright, so, all left to do is put the magnetic closure on it, and we're done, right? Alright, I'm going to do a little of this here. Alright, so now I've got my last two. I need to order some more at some point. Alright, there is one. And here is another. It's attached to something already. Oh, okay, well. Come on, get off of there. Come on. There we go. Must have been when I put on the adhesive dot and just didn't want to use. I don't know why I would have done that, but it's my last two dots, so I've got to use them. Okay, so now let's grab our dots here that I use. You can use, I believe Tim Holtz's collage medium will hold it, but I use these. These are clear adhesive dots, it's permanent, and they have never done me wrong. They usually work. Okay, let go. There we go. Alright, I need you guys to go this way. Alright, so take one of them and I put it right here in the center. Squish that down. Take the other, peel this off here. Let it sit for a second to cure. A couple minutes. While I work on the other one. Now make sure you know which side adheres to the other one. So if it's this way, we're going to be putting this dot here, right? So if this one goes that way, right? Go here. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape this piece down. Yeah? So I'm going to make this up here. Find the center here. This would be a little further down. There we go. A little further up. Move with it? That did. Okay. So we're going to tape this one down, and I'm going to use bookbinding tape on this. Just to keep it down, and also so nothing when you put it in the pocket or gets in the way, right? Well, I don't kind of like it showing like that. I think I'm going to put it inside of here. Or right there. Hey, get back where you were. So that means this would have to be here. So we do it that way. That would work still. Yeah. Or I could put the magnet there. I'm going to put it there. Let's move it up here. I'm just trying something different, you guys. I didn't do this with the other one, but I just want to try something different. Just stick with me here, okay? I think I like that better. So would it be here? It would be more to the edge of the envelope. So I'm going to put it a little bit further up, actually. Come on, a little further, a little further. Yeah, I like that better. So that would put the magnet right about here, okay? So, I am going to put this on the inside of this pocket, which means this is the attracting side, like this, okay? Like so. And just slide it into the pocket and push it up, yeah? There we go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? Okay. And then this guy, right here, we're going to take him, right? Peel him off. Before you do that, you want to peel off any extra glue that's around it. I don't like it showing, so I always peel that off. So you'll see it right about there. There's a little bit extra sitting out there, so just peel it off here before you put it down. It's a lot easier to do it here than it is when you put it on the paper. And it looks a lot more tidy that way, I think. Or you can leave it, up to you. As you're doing it, press down on the magnet so you don't peel up everything underneath it, right? Okay, I think that's good enough. Okay, so very carefully peel it up off the paper, like so. Drop it down on your magnet. Oh no! I did it backwards, I think. I did do it backwards. Ah! I did it backwards, you guys. Gosh darn it. Why can't anything go smooth? I swear. So I can peel this back up and flip it over. Without tearing the paper, hopefully. Since that would suck. Alright, we got it. Okay. Alright. Pain in my behind. There. Come on, stick down there. There we go. Alright. Let's get another piece of bookbinding tape. Alright, cut this. Alright, so that's going to be up there. The tape needs to be on this side. Okay, let's put the tape on this side. Peel it up. Put that right here. Cut that piece off real quick. Alright. Now, again, we're just going to slide this up and detach it right there in the middle. Yeah? Okay. Now, this should be right side up now. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. So we're going to do is peel this off, put it up here on the magnet, pop this piece down. I should pick it up like that. And that's where our magnet's going to live, right there. So we close this up. There we go. It's all nice and tidy. Yeah? You know, we did forget to do, also, we forgot to ink the envelope. I swear, you guys, I am like losing my mind. But this went a lot better than the first time that I did this video. So this one will definitely, I think, come out. I hope. Okay, dokie. Let's get in here. I think we're good here. Let's go to the inside here. We're just going to attach it with some art glitter glue to the top flip out. Or top of the flip out, rather. I think we're almost there. Get this here. Get this edge here. You can always come back and do this later, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it now. I think it was a good idea that I refilmed this, you guys. I really do. That other one was a freaking shit show. Excuse my language. It was bad. It was a dumpster fire. I was like, man, what? How many cups of coffee did you have, Tiana? Lord of mercy. I was going a million miles an hour and my measurements were wrong. It was a shit show. Anywho, all right, now we're going to attach this to. What do I do with my Zots? Oh, I just threw them over here. Put those away. All right, all we're going to do is attach this here to this here, and this is going to be part 14. All right, so I'm going to use art glitter here, and I'm going to make this a pocket back here, a hidden pocket on top of here. So I'm going to keep that entrance open. Okay, like so. Just going to try to center that here. Alright. Now, make sure that's centered and level. Be good. Okay. There we go. I think that's good. Yeah. Snip that little piece right there. Alright, you guys. So there it is, our flip out. Our main flip out there. And the closures. And would you go in the darn hole? Crying out loud. So we got our flip out here. Yeah. Right there. Washi tape's on. Our closures are on. Pieces are there. And here is our faux envelope with pockets there, there, and there. Yeah. Magnetic closure. Alright, you guys. Thank you guys for joining me today. If you guys want to, I'm so tired. I don't even know what I'm saying. Thank you guys for joining me with the video for chapter part 14 of how to make the recreate of the Grungy Folio. If you would, if you're new, if you like what you saw, hit the subscribe button and the bell, and you'll get notified anytime I upload new content. And by the way, if you remember, I promised once we hit 600 subscribers, I was going to upload some more free ephemera. So we just did. I'm at 601 as of this morning. So you guys are going to get some free ledger paper on my Kofi site. And that address will also be in the description below, along with some supplies that I normally use and some links that I mentioned in the video. I will see you guys in part 15. Talk to you soon. Love you. Bye.